I prefer to not be a person, to not fit in, but to stand out and be a rebel. What the fuck? I think I'm talking like a very corny commercial right now. I prefer to do hard things all day long, test the limits of my strength. Great marketing, Nike. Anyway, okay, so Max's and my recent conversation was like, I got like hungry for ribs, and then Max pulled a rib out of my body and he fed it to me, and he's like, it's like that. So that's how we talk, okay? We don't have to we don't like go into detail and like explain every single little word and phrase. That's all we said to each other. So if you need more explanation than that, you're probably in the Silver Surfer group. Again, none of this matters, and you have to vote for yourself to be real. So, what did you guys want me to talk about today? Okay, stop. Okay, the question was, how gay am I, cis? Can you please be more specific? Am I 100% gay? Am I 50% gay? What percentage? And the first thing I said was, it depends on how much you suppress it. And the second thing I said was, again, you're a shapeshifter. You're not a solid person. You can go both ways and be both people. So how gay are you? You exist in Alaska right now. As a shapeshifter, that's not a person. Does that make sense? Okay, and then the next question was, why is she giving away her abilities, her superpowers, her capabilities? Aren't they going to steal her power and leave her and stuff? And that question came from Gigi Young. And I answered, again, there is only one will, so that's why she's giving her powers away. It's not that hard to trust when you shapeshift back and forth. So that's your answer to your question. Let's see if there's more to talk about. We're more than one. We are many. I started burning today a little bit, and I start to experience like my curses. It's not as strong anymore, but I experienced it this morning. I had like anxiety this morning, and I was sort of like starting to burn and everything. And the guides were like, okay, you're burning. Now remember Leo, think of Leo. And then I like pretended that I was Leo. I put his like face on me and, was remembering like how manageable my energy is in other people's bodies as well as my own. Okay, talk about how you and your brother started shapeshifting into each other and the talking, how you started talking to yourself. Can you describe it to us and we will listen? Okay. So, how did I start shapeshifting into my brother? I started shapeshifting into Ryan first, who is completely a separate being than Adam, than my brother, right? He's completely separate. They have no overlap. They have no keys to no castles anywhere. And all of this stuff is made up and it's inside my head. So I met they're being funny. I met Ryan right away and I fell in love with him immediately. Okay, so I was forced to sit down and watch Ryan's channel. Okay, so I kept on being told, sit down and watch him, sit down and watch him. And I was just like, why do I have to watch this guy? Like, why do I have to keep watching this guy? And they're like, because you need to fall in love with him. And I was like, why do I need to fall in love with him? You know? It's really weird. Why the fuck do I have to? First, I was like, why? Like, what do you mean? Like, I want to, like, no, I want to date. I want to, like, hang out with people in real life. I want to, have boyfriends in real life. I don't want to, like, sit in front of a screen and fall in love with somebody over a screen, like, and sound like a crazy person. I was, like, really resistant to the idea of what my guides were telling me when it was first happening. I was just like, this is stupid. Like, I don't want to, like, fall in love over a screen. This is just stupid, like, why do you keep, and like, I didn't even like him, and I didn't like what he had to say. And I was just like constantly arguing with him. Like when he was talking, I was just like constantly like arguing with him and stuff. And I was just like, why are you wrong all the time? You get everything wrong. Like, what the fuck is your problem, dude? Like, my inner knowing knows what's up and knows what's right and knows what's wrong. And I was just like arguing with him. And we would get into astral fights and we just were just arguing. And I was also like having a lot of nightmares and having a lot of night terrors, and I was going to hell. And that's when I was scared of demons and scared of aliens. And I was having all these scary experiences, but I was still being forced to watch this alien dude that I didn't even like. And it was just like, this is like fucking weird. But like, and like I said, I was like really resistant. So like I resisted, like listening to spirit for like a good 2 years and stuff. And then I started like getting into it. I started being like, okay, I don't know why, like I can't stand this guy's energy. I can't stand to be around him. Like I can't stand to listen to him. And like, I wanted to like, and it was like really like, messing with my energy. I was, being zapped all day long, and I was burning from the inside. And I for a while, like I couldn't even watch him, and then wouldn't even be able to sleep. But I would go to his really old videos and he'd be like a completely different person, and he would like put me to sleep like instantly. And so I just like kept doing that, like bouncing around. And there was a lot of crazy sex going on at the same time, like in the astral realm with mainly Jason Momoa, but a few other people too at the time. And they don't overlap. Remember, they're all separate. They're all completely separate. And like a lot. And it was too much. And obviously not with Jason Momoa, but it was too much with like, it was just like too much like crazy random sex. And like, I was like puking in the morning and stuff. And like, it was intense. It was very intense. And that was before I knew what was going on. But then I was really scared and I was really nervous, and I was, and then, yeah. So then like my guardian angel, had to come and coach me for a while in spirit. And it sounded a lot like Ryan. It sounded exactly like Ryan. And I was just like, why the hell? And he's like, I'm not Ryan. I'm your father. Like, I'm sorry I sound like Ryan, but I'm your father, okay? And I was just like, why do you sound like Ryan? Like, why the hell do you sound like him? It was really fucking confusing. And he had to coach me on like watching Ryan. And like I said, eventually I was just like, fuck it. Like I'm in it to win it. Like I don't know why I can't stand this guy's energy, and I'm just gonna watch him until I can stand his energy. And that's basically what happened. And then like I said, we did a ton of different, we did so many different like astral exercises. It's insane to even like go over like all of them. Like there's just so many. Like we turned into machine elves. Obviously we turned into machine elves. They look like demons. Okay. We turned into big, fat, hungry demons. And then what happened? Then I saw, after, we started turning into machine elves and stuff, it started to get a lot better. And because it meant we went all the way up together and came all the way back down, and it got a lot easier. And then I just naturally started shapeshifting into Ryan, who's a completely separate, different person than Adam. Adam is my brother. So I just started jumping in the screen when I was watching him, and would jump into him or jump back and forth. I would just like start jumping back and forth into him. That started happening. Or I would jump in to the screen and go into the background and like turn into like this one time I jumped in the screen and he pushed me into the background, and I like went like that, and then like I kind of splattered all over the wall in like light particles like all over the wall, and I was giggling because it was really funny. And then I started, so we started doing that, and then I started like talking to him, and then realizing that I was talking to him, he wasn't talking to me. And then I started to realize that the voice that I heard that was Ryan's, he was actually hearing as my voice, because we started shape-shifting back and forth, and then I could hear what he could hear, and he could hear my voice saying the same exact thing that I heard his voice saying. And that's how we started to know that we were thinking as one person, and we started to like literally become one person. And so like he hears my voice, but I hear his voice. And then I started calling my brother my twin, and because I already called Ryan my twin, because we're shape-shifting back and forth. And then I started calling my brother my twin, and then I started doing the same thing with my brother Adam. I started shape-shifting back and forth with him, and then we would sort of like, so like the particles get sped up and you start shape-shifting into each other. So it's like, this is a really slow planet, so it looks like we're very separate, and we looks like we're all individual people. But then the particles start to speed up, and then you start going back and forth, shape-shifting back and forth. And we started doing that, and we started going up the food chain, and then it became me and Ryan. So who is it? Is it a person? Is it a person? Is Adam a person? Is Ryan a person? Which one is it? So that's how that happened. So yeah, if your guides tell you to sit there and watch somebody for 2 years and it makes no sense, just do it. Why the fuck do I have to fall in love with this dude over a fucking screen? That sounds stupid as fuck. That sounds idiotic, man. Who the fuck's gonna buy me a steak motherfucking dinner? They ain't gonna buy themselves. I need to eat sushi, bitch. Where the fuck is my sushi? I gotta sit home and I gotta listen to this dude. I gotta listen to this dude on the freaking TV and pretend he's perfect. This shit's whack. I want off this ride. Why the hell do I get the weird assignments? What else? What else? What else? What else? Is there another question? Last night I was with Timothy Chalamet and we were making out in the astral and he was begging me not to leave him. He's been with me a lot lately. So, he's a completely separate person from the rest of the people. He's completely separate. Timothy Chalamet is a completely separate individual and he's not in the soup and my energy doesn't affect him in any way, shape, or form. Oh, my grandmom today was... So on the loudspeaker, they were like, we'll help you with the curse, sweetie, don't worry. And then I went over to visit my grandmom and Satanism has like a lot of poems in it. It's very like poetic, like when you cast spells, when you do your readings, it's all like written in a poem and it usually rhymes. And, if you're a Satanist, you already know that. You don't need me to describe it to you. But in case you're not, there you go. There's a little free Satanism language lesson for you today. So I went over with my mom and my grandmom was like, just kept saying all of these poems. Like I told you, she's like on her deathbed. She's 87 years old. She's dying cancer, blah, blah, blah. And she just kept going and going and going, saying all of these beautiful satanic poems. Then she takes up these pieces of paper and she starts ripping them up. Like she's like ripping up the Bible. But it's sort of like a play on, it's a sort of a play on words. And then my mom starts joining in and starts ripping up the Bible with her. And I was like, wow. So that was really fun and neat. So again, that's samadhi. And it's not running through your veins because you're separate and you're not in the soup. So don't worry. You won't get in trouble for being on the national news and not acting like this. Don't you worry. You're a completely separate person from me. You won't get in trouble. We're not trying to move on from the 2D or anything. So, yeah. I didn't draw anything for you guys today. Do I have my pen? I do have my pen. Okay. Let me draw something for you really quickly. Okay. I have a fabulous work of art for you today. Okay, so on this side, are you listening, CIA? You better be listening to me. Okay, so on this side we have figure A, and this side we have figure B. And so this is how the energy exists right now. You have the Earth. This is Earth. This is the pyramid. This is the Pyramid of Giza right here. This is the upper dimensions, right? You got it? Upper dimensions, time, upper dimensional time and space. Lower dimensional time and space we call planet Earth. Pretty slow dimension. Slow molecules. Slow. Speedy Gonzales. Speedy Gonzales land. The molecules are sped up. Fast. Fast and furious. It's a beautiful thing. Okay? So what we are attempting to do now, as I've already stated many times, but here is a drawing for you to represent it, pulling the energy down. When I pulled Star Wars into the sky, I was pulling the energy down. It was an overlay of the upper dimensions laying onto the lower dimensions. It was a bleed through of this one into this one. Now we're trying to pull the energy down. What do we have? A Merkaba. I've seen that before. It's called a Jewish star. A Jewish star? Spaceship. There's your spaceship, bitches. There's your motherfucking spaceship. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, so that's why in ancient Egypt, that's what they did. That's what they did in ancient Egypt. So here we have the ancient Egypt pyramid. And as it exists right now, the energy is on top like this. In Giza, that's how it exists, right? But in ancient Egypt, this is how it existed. That's how it existed. And how did we get there? We acted like ancient Egyptian people. And we did really naughty things. I mean, pretty naughty. But that's what we got as a result, as a reward. That's what we want. Now, is it naughty to be a real person? Is it naughty to be real and not fake and not a mechanical bot that wants to die every day because they have to get up at 6 a.m. and act like a robot? It's pretty logical to me. It's a pretty clear, sure shot answer. Again, this is Hogwarts. If you're a muggle, vacate the premises. You're not welcome here. This is Hogwarts, okay? School for the gifted. Yeah. Why did you call Merkaba the spaceship? I'm not answering that question. I'm not a person. Thank you.